The Flash is out in theaters right now, guys, and did you go out and see it? Here's my initial impression of the movie. I thought it was pretty good, man. I really enjoyed this. My straight out of the theater reaction is up on the channel right now, and I said I love seeing Michael Keaton back in this, and surprisingly, Ezra Miller thought that they did a good job, but for me, the standout was Sasha Calle, the Supergirl, the new Supergirl. I thought she was absolutely fantastic in this. I had my doubts, but she won me over, man, and I want to see a lot more from her in the future. I would be totally fine seeing a side project with her as Supergirl, because she was amazing. Now, the IMDb says that the synopsis reads, Barry Allen uses his super speed to change the past, but his attempt to save his family creates a world without superheroes, forcing him to race for his life in order to save the future. Now, this movie, despite me liking it, despite me saying that it had a lot of good points, it's also got its fair share of questionable points. The cameos in this were awesome. It made me go, wow, holy, I can't believe what we're seeing here. Like, it was just shades of, if you like Spider-Man No Way Home and those cameos and everything that came up in that, then you will probably like The Flash for the same reasons. It's just because some of the, well, I guess they weren't cameos in No Way Home, but these were more cameos on the short side of cameos. Like, oh God, they're just like, it was like, oh my God, it was cool. But they were contrasted by some incredibly weak visual effects. Like really weak visual effects. It's kind of hard to describe how bad. Cartoony visual effects. And I am puzzled by this because they delayed this movie for so long. They had a whole bunch of time to refine these visual effects. And it opens up with this long sequence of him trying to save a hospital. And there's like things floating down from the sky, and they look, it's like a cartoon, man. Like it's like, it's shocking here in 2023 that we would see that quality of visual effects. This is like Scorpion King level of visual effects. And I was like, this is your opening sequence? This is something that's supposed to launch the film and impress me? No. I was able to look past that, though. I said, that was garbage. But what kept me going in the opening sequence was that it was basically Justice League 3.0. That's pretty much what it was. You got Batfleck back. You got Jeremy Irons as Alfred back. Of course, you heard that there's other cameos in there too from the Justice League as well. So it's kind of like, yeah, I just love seeing all of it. It's like, you guys can continue this. You should be continuing the Snyderverse in some capacity, because all of those people have so much good chemistry together. It's just like, thank you for at least giving us the first 20-30 minutes of the old Snyderverse like that, right? That's what I felt like. It was like, that was so cool. And then to know that, hey, later on in just a few moments, this movie's going to transform a little bit, and we're going to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. So it's got so many good things going for it, as I said. But it has some lulls in the story where we take a little bit of time to develop some of the character moments. And those lulls, I think, well, they kind of hamper the movie. They kind of slow down the pacing of it. So if somebody said that the visual effects are terrible, that there's problems with the pacing, that's fine. But for the most part, you're not going to be complaining about the acting. You're not going to be complaining about like when the action is happening. The action is good. It's just a few of those visual effects. It's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that. I could understand when he's breaking time or going through time, and some of the characters' faces would look cartoonish because they're phasing in and out from other universes and stuff, right? That I could understand, but for like the opening sequence, that was a little bit weak. How did Ezra doing dual roles? He did fantastic. I thought he was, that stuff was really cool. And the emotional backbone of the movie was that he lost his mother, right? And that he wanted to try to go back and try to save her. And like that worked. It just got a little bit too long getting to that and establishing that. But of course, he was having, like, Andy Muschietti, the director, was having fun, probably just playing with the last remnants of the Snyderverse. Could have cut down a lot in that that sequence in the beginning. I would have cut a lot of that stuff out. Save that for like the post-credit scene or like the credit scene. Save it for that. But yeah, the emotional backbone with the mother stuff, that worked for me. And once you realize, like, we knew that Zod was going to be in this, and we knew that I felt like Zod wasn't going to be the main bad guy, that it was going to be some kind of evil Flash, and how that got all explained really worked for me. So the villains worked for me. And we heard the quote from Michael Shannon earlier in the week that he felt like this version of Zod was kind of like, didn't really have that much emotional impact. I could understand that now, thinking about this after it, but he did, like, Zod wasn't supposed to be the big bad guy in this one, right? It was more his inner turmoil, dealing with the loss of his mother, trying to fix it. And then he gets stuck in that kind of alternate timeline where there is that Batman. And I liked all the stuff, the time explanation, how they explained how, there's different Batman and stuff like that. And time isn't like, there's cross sections of it, but if you change the future, you don't like I love all of that stuff. That stuff really works for me, right? Michael Keaton in this one too. Oh my God, so many sequences in that put a smile on my face. And then seeing Batfleck here in the beginning, yeah, this is all the beginning stuff. But Sasha Calle, oh my God, yeah, she did an amazing, absolutely amazing job. And I was somebody who wanted to see the blonde Supergirl. She changed my mind, man. She changed my mind. I'm fine with this version of Supergirl. Yeah, I want to see more of her. And we know that we're going to get more Supergirl in James Gunn's universe, right? And are we going to see more Flash? I thought that this was supposed to be kind of like the passing of the torch, right? I thought this was going to be the end, the proper closing of the Snyderverse and setting up the new DCU. That's what I thought. So I was expecting post-credit scenes to come in and sort of fill in some of those gaps or set the stage. I thought maybe we would see another Flash come in. Oh, sorry, I guess I'm starting to get a little spoilerish. Like somebody else coming in to play Flash. This is not really spoiling anything, because I guess that wouldn't do any service to the movie. That's not what this movie's about. It wasn't really kind of like the setup for the next chapter. It wasn't, which is fine, because I like this movie. I liked it a lot. As I said, could there have been some stuff cut out? Yeah. I don't know how well it's going to be playing on repeat viewings, but I had lots of fun with The Flash. Let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people are saying. 67 by the critics, 86 by the audience. Yeah. No, I'm not as low as the critics. It's not a 6.7 out of 10. What did the snapshot reviews reveal? Let's see if we agree with some of them. From the Observer UK, it's efficient, pacey, and largely enjoyable stuff. Okay. Let's see what else is going on here. Wall Street Journal says, unfortunately, the best aspects of the film are drowned out by a sea of middle school humor, silly plot twists, and weak acting. And weak acting? What? Especially by Ezra Miller in the title role. No, man. I thought they did a good job. Maybe it's because I'm a mama's boy or something. I related to that having to let go. That was the backbone. I was like, if the Flash was the first the first movie out to start the DCU, I would be happy with that. I would be totally happy with this result. And it didn't shove down multiverse stuff down your throat. Kind of like, well, if this person dies, then we're going to see him again. Don't worry about that. No. From what I got out of this is that some things are concrete enough that we won't see some of these people again. And maybe that's what they were kind of meaning, that this will close off the Snyderverse. But if that's the case, then we may not be able to see more of this Supergirl then, right? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. And the way he makes his secondary costume there, that was really cool too. I like that. I like that. And the Batwing in this one, there was a couple times where I was like, it can do that? It can do that? Wow. Yeah, there's going to be a couple times in this where hopefully you'll be like, I wasn't expecting that to happen. That was really cool. Sasha Calle, wow. She really impressed me. She really did. I want that poster. The Flash, guys, as I said, I don't think I would give it quite as low as the critics, but I can't give it as high as the audience. I can't give it an 8.5 out of 10. I would probably have to end up somewhere along the lines of giving the Flash a 7.5. 7.5. That's where I feel. 7.5 out of 10 for the Flash. It was good, man. It was really enjoyable. It's not as good as, say, like the Dark Knight, but compared to, like, I think I even prefer this over Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah. How about that? It's not anywhere near as good as like Joker or anything like that. But it's just, I thought it was a really pleasant surprise, man, and I had lots of fun with it. So let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe. Stick around for some spoiler discussion here in just a few moments. If not, I'll see you next time on Your Domains. All right, let's talk some spoilers. So, that baby sequence, that should have been cut. Oh my God, Jesus. Okay, show that the babies are falling, and we know that he's going to pick them all up, but my God, those babies looked absolutely atrocious. I was just like, how did this pass? And you had so much extra time to go in and retool this and make it look better. Like, that was shocking. It was just, my God, those are some very, very awful. Like as I said, the comparison to the Scorpion King in Mummy 2 is like that's how awful it looked, man. Let's pull up the Scorpion King here. This was what, 2000? When did the Scorpion King? 2001, and now we're in 2023, and we're getting visual effects that look like this. Like, that's what it looked like, guys. Cartoony, and that's sort of like all the other cameos. They look like that too, and that's 20-year-old technology that you're being on par with here in 2023. Like, no, sorry guys, that's not good enough. Not good enough. Bifer says, I got goosebumps when Batman said, "You want to get nuts?" Yeah, that was really cool too, and I loved all the nods in there to his version of Alfred and stuff like that. There was like there was like a pendant or something, wasn't there, from like his version of Alfred? I thought that was really just heartbreaking. Because yeah, his version of Alfred would have passed on, right? He was an old man. Batfleck was really cool. I was just like, oh my God. And Alfred too, with Jeremy Irons is a great Alfred. To know that we're not going to get them anymore, it just breaks my heart. Because dial down the budget, man. Dial down the budget and just let these actors do what they do, which is sell the movie and with their skills to you. You don't have to rely on visual effects that can be dicey to sell the movie. And the Wonder Woman cameo. That's a proper cameo, right? And that worked for me as well. Gal Gadot. So will that should be the final time we see her then, right? I don't know why they couldn't have shown the Henry Cavill cameo, because when we see Superman fighting the volcano or whatever, you just see the backside of him. Just show his face. What's wrong with him showing? Is it because you don't want to pay him money? I tell you this solidifies for me more than anything. Someone at the studios doesn't like Henry Cavill. And they can just say that we want to go in a different direction all they want. But for me, now I totally understand. There's somebody in that studio, in those executives, they don't like to work with Henry Cavill. And I don't know if it's reports because when he's on set, he's hard to work with or something. I don't believe that. Although you sort of heard reports on The Witcher and stuff that, he's always there looking at details, saying that, no, this isn't how this person would work. This isn't how that would be. He's just trying to be respectful to the character. So for me, I don't want to take that as a negative thing. But you just kind of get like, why would you cut out Henry Cavill's cameo in that? Why would you do that? Eric Stoltz references to the Back to the Future. Yeah, if you didn't know that Eric Stoltz was supposed to be, he shot a lot of the original Back to the Future movie before he got replaced. And there's like there's footage out there of him as Marty McFly. There's Eric Stoltz right there. Yeah, he shot a lot of the stuff. And they went back and reshot those scenes. So, yeah, in an alternate universe, in an alternate reality, I thought that was cool to show that, just for some inside baseball stuff there, as for us movie fans, that, yeah, Eric Stoltz at one point was Marty McFly. And that's a cut that we will never see. We will never see that cut come out. It'd be cool to see, though. That would be interesting to see. Byford says, I need food, but subplot went away after the baby falling scene. Yeah. Well, no, the other Barry, he was always searching for food, too. I didn't like the fact that he lost his powers, though. They could have just skipped that part. When the other Barry got his powers and then his powers go away. That, like, you could cut, just get rid of that. Just say he's always got his powers. That didn't affect him. And that would have tightened up the movie a little bit too, because it didn't really add that much, right? It didn't take like him losing his powers and saying, oh, okay, I've got to be a superhero without my powers. They didn't make that point. So that part became a little bit unnecessary. But there was so much other cool stuff because he was talking with Batman and stuff like that. I thought it was great. And then him dealing with Kara. Also fantastic stuff. Really fantastic. What was some other stuff? So, okay, so when he's running fast and let me see if I can pull up a screenshot of that flash. Let's see if I can pull up an image of if somebody's got like a really crappy B-roll of him running in that time bubble. I'm not seeing it. So basically he runs really fast and he encapsulates time around him and stuff like that. And that's what they use to sort of explain the time travel in it. All of that stuff is very cartoonish. And as I said, okay, you can use those cartoony faces to explain why it looks like that, because time is stretching and it shouldn't look normal and stuff like that. I'll tell you this: I got the Nicolas Cage one spoiled to me by the director Andy Muschietti, which sucks because that one would have blown my mind if I saw that. Like I wanted that. Like I was just like, ha, Nicolas Cage as Superman. But again, the thing is that it looked like that cartoony. The skin, the face didn't look all real, right? But it would like just to know that Superman. The death of Superman or Superman Lives, like that as with Nick Cage, that was a thing that was going to happen. That was awesome. I would have loved to see that. And then I cheered when we saw the blonde Supergirl, Slater, with Christopher Reeves standing side by side. That hit home for me. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. That was so just because I like that version of Supergirl. Supergirl, Helen Slater. Let's pull up her. I even like that movie of hers, even though I haven't seen it in a while. It wasn't all that great, but I thought she was a perfect casting for Supergirl. And to see that one, just I was like, wow. And then seeing her beside Christopher Reeves there, I was just like, thank you, Andy Muschietti, for trying to give that to us, them side by side. Thank you. Like I never thought that I would ever see that, and they somehow pulled it off. I'm happy that they did. But you're showing all these other ones, and you couldn't give us the Cavill one, right? That sucked. And then when they were going through all the Batman stuff, I thought, like we heard, I didn't see him, but I heard Adam West. I thought for a split second they might show us Nolan's Christopher Bale's Batman. And maybe it was in the background in one of those round circle things that we went by so fast we couldn't see. But they didn't really need to see that. That was fine. But yeah, seeing those two, oh my God, that's awesome. I'm going to save this picture, actually. I want to save that picture. Oh no, I can't. It's going to save it as a web file. Well, that's awesome. I like how they explained Evil Flash too. I thought Evil Flash was just going to be like an alternate evil version Flash. I like how he was created out of going back in time to try to stop his mother over and over and over again. I like that, and to know that the one Barry that he was with, like the younger Barry there that he came into, like that Barry transforms into the Evil Flash. I liked how he was dealing with that stuff. I liked how Michael Keaton's Batman died in that universe. I like how they were like, that's what I meant earlier about them closing off. Like, we're not going to see them again because they can't change that timeline. That's how Michael Keaton Batman dies. Fighting Zod. Cool. Heartbreaking though, right? When he's kind of like telling him, no, don't go back and try to change this. This is my time. Kind of thing, like that got to me right here in the theater. But that's because I grew up with Batman. I like Michael Keaton back in this, and this was a great way for his swan song to end as Batman. I just thought, like, hey, we're not going to be able to see you in the Batgirl movie. That I don't know how they were going to ever explain that, but like, this is our final time seeing Michael Keaton. Thank you. I just felt humbled throughout all of this film. I just was like, thank you for showing us. Thank you for giving us this. I'm very humbled. And then, of course, the final Bruce Wayne that shows up. We couldn't have Val Kilmer. I thought I was like. It was cool to see George Clooney. I think I was just like, okay, yeah, that was fun. But imagine if that was Christian Bale that pulled up. Imagine, like, my theater would have just erupted. Like, wow. Imagine if it was him. It was fun. That was George Clooney, though. And Clooney, he's like everything you hear about Clooney. He's a good dude in real life. He's a real mensch, and he would happily come on. Even the fact that he admits himself that Batman and Robin was not that good, that he would come on and do a cameo like that. I just thought that was cool, man. That was cool. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got to say about this movie. I want to go watch it again. I do want to watch this one again because, well, this week is not going to have a lot of staying power for it, right? Well, the next big release is Indiana Jones 5 at the end of the month. This next week we have Asteroid City, and we have that Jennifer Lawrence raunchy comedy coming out. So Flash and Elemental will hopefully have a week to breathe here, because those are adult films that are coming out this week, right? The raunchy comedy and Asteroid City is more of kind of like an art house film. So hopefully the Flash and Elemental will have good word of mouth. Because when my straight out of the theater reaction for the Flash, I was hyped. I was just like, wow. It had, I like Transformers had that jaw-dropping G.I. Joe moment. Flash has this jaw-dropping multiple Nicolas Cage, Christopher Reeve. It was just like, wow, cool, man. And I you know that they've got a script ready for the second movie for the Flash. They do. They said that, but it's got to make enough bank at the box office on a $200-something plus million budget. 139 million worldwide for its opening weekend is not good enough. So hopefully we're like word of mouth will carry this up to maybe 5. Like I was really hoping the Flash would make $1 billion and make James Gunn question should they continue on with this. But this is audiences are saying no, we're done with this. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with the fact that we don't know how it fits in. James Gunn has not done a very good job of explaining how this torch is going to be passed on, or if it's going to be passed on, because it almost feels like it's just going to get cut off, and that's it. He says Blue Beetle's supposed to be part of it, but I'm not going to be shocked if Blue Beetle has nothing to do with the James Gunn DCU. He says that it is. He said that this one was supposed to be a passing of the torch. But it wasn't, at least not in my opinion. Byford also says there, my favorite scene was Aquaman dad Boba Fett marrying Nicole Kidman, but old and made it. Was that Nicole Kidman in fat makeup though? That got a laugh in the theater, in my theater, saying that, didn't you marry a princess from under the water? And then you shows this lady sitting on the couch, this couch potato. Yes, archive footage, Helen Slater. So they're putting up Christopher Reeve archive footage. Yeah, that made me so happy. It did. Adam West archive footage. So they must have shown Adam West. George Reeves Superman, yeah, they showed that too. Let me pull up all the cast and crew, because I don't know if Nicole Kidman was that under the fat makeup, or was that just another actress? Tamoira Morrison, Kirstie Clemens, the Iris West storyline too. Maybe that could have been shortened up a little bit, with her trying to be kind of like a reporter asking about his mother and stuff like that. Security guard. George Clooney uncredited, Nicolas Cage uncredited. Yeah. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing Nicole Kidman there. Who played the mother? Maybe I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm not reading it properly here. Maybe I missed it. If I did, it's not a huge deal. But yeah, that got a big laugh in the theater. But he's like, who are you kidding? He looks over at the woman sitting on the couch, and it's like, yeah, some serious satisficing going on there. All right, guys, that's it for me, The Flash, my spoiler section as well. We'll talk about the box office breakdown a lot more tomorrow morning on our news show at 11 a.m., guys. We do a movie news show at 11 a.m. Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So come join us for that, and we'll take a look at the box office breakdown. We've been going for like 49 minutes now, so I'm going to cut it off there. I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains. Thank you for joining me in the live chat there, Byford Dahabit. And I'll cut out both of these reviews and post them up on the channel later on when I put some thumbnails together. And other than that, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. You're watching Mirror Domains. Have a nice day.